Welcome back to Hawk Talk. Another beautiful fall weekend brought some exciting action to the campus of Dickinson State University. We're going to talk to a couple coaches and players who are jockeying for postseason position, and maybe be joined by one person who kind of helps make everything happen here at Dickinson State University. But first off, Coach, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, take us through the start of that Dakota State game, a high-powered offense coming to town. We read the statistics, we knew what they brought to the table, and the defense somehow manages to put up another 0 in the first quarter. That's actually their 6th first quarter shutout. What does that do for the offense?
Well, it helps to get off to a good start, because there's been times that, defensively that we haven't. Although you said we did have a few good starts, a few of the games we needed to play better, and we really got off to a great start. And against a team that was very good, it helped. We had a little bit of wind that they had to go into, but to get some 3-and-outs right away to start the game with the team that's averaging over 500 yards a game was really a key thing for us.
Rob Sterling had great senior day, 2 interceptions throughout the contest, but then it turned into a bit of a kicking with the win. 3 field goals were made successfully. Cody Johnson with a 42-yarder, and then 2 by Dakota State somehow snuck by our line. Would you have taken 6 points for Dakota State at half?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We were very pleased with that on the defensive end of it. And Rob had made the 2 big plays. We knew that they were going to go after him. They had a really good receiver that we knew they were going to throw the ball to him. And Rob made 2 nice interceptions on that. And defensively, we played well. And offensively, even though we just didn't score other than 3 points, and we were struggling a little bit at times, we were close, and we were just missing a few things. We hit a few throws earlier, and it's a big difference. We had, Austin Brown open on a couple times, and we just slightly missed it, and that would open some things up if we would have hit a few of those. And as it turned out, we didn't. But when we went into halftime down 6-3, obviously we're happy with where we were defensively, and we knew it was going to be a matter of time offensively before we hit some things, and that's as the case what we did during the second half.
What is the atmosphere like in the locker room with the defense, doing their job, but it seems to me there's still trust in the offense that they're going to explode like they ended up doing in the third quarter. What is that atmosphere in the locker room?
It was no panic at all. We're all one team, and we're not offense, we're not defense, we're all one team, and that's what it was about. And we knew offensively, like you said, that we were going to be fine. We'd get some things figured out, we'd hit some plays, and we'd had enough stops defensively where we knew the offense was going to get the opportunity. And plus they chose really a key thing to start the second half, to kick into the wind, and we got the wind there to start the second half, and that really started things off for us.
Couple nice passing plays by Gibson, who got back in to start the second half, and then Jed Fike found the end zone, and you could kind of feel a sense of calm kind of come over the team. Then the defense got picked up right where they left off, turnover after turnover, rinse, wash, repeat. Offense scored. What sort of sense of urgency was there to score with the win in the third quarter?
Well, I think not maybe the sense of urgency, but just knowing we could. And once we hit that first one, and then the offense got their confidence that, hey, we're okay. And Jed had a nice run on that first one, and then we got the turnover right away there, and then we got another score, and we were able to use both Kaler and Hayden in different spots, and Kaler hit the big run, and we just did it. Just once again played as well as we could offensively after getting off to a slow start, and obviously that was big. That, along with getting the turnovers together, we really fed off each other and broke it open that third quarter.
Talk about both quarterbacks when things weren't going well in the first half, kind of stuck them in and out, trying to find some rhythm. But once one finds some success, it seems like the other is right there behind them when they get inserted, having matching that success. What is it that allows them to both be successful at the same time?
Well, I don't know if there was any secret recipe we'd know, but I mean, I think it's just and it's not all just on the quarterbacks too. Sometimes everybody wants to talk about the quarterback play and the quarterbacks, and there's 10 other guys in the offense, and there's 10 and 11 guys on defense that have to play pretty well as well. And and like you said early, we missed a few throws, but I think the key is that we came back, and Hayden played well in that first drive, and then Kaler did what he did, and does a great job with the read game and playing well, and he's a great leader. And I think it just all started clicking, and once we got in that mode, then we were in good shape.
With the help of turnovers, the Blue Hawks outscored the Trojans 28-0 in the third quarter. That actually moves the Blue Hawks to plus 81 in the third quarter on the year. So the third quarter has clearly been favorable to the Blue Hawks this season. wrapping things up, the fourth quarter kind of took care of business. Not much action, but that's probably what you were looking for.
No, we were looking to. We got that lead, and we wanted to control the clock and use the clock. And defensively, we really did a pretty good job for the most part. We had a mishap on the special teams. We had the punt off, but we jumped on the first one, and then had a low snap, and punter didn't get it, and we gave him a 2-yard field there to score in there. And obviously that was a place where we need to be a little bit better. And then the other place we need to be better is we had too many penalties. We were penalized 16 times, which is far too many penalties. We got to be better there. But on the positive end of it is we did a good job in that second half and played great defense the whole day and hit those big plays in the third quarter, and that helped us with a real big win against a team that was averaging a lot of yards and was in the top 10 in the nation, a lot of categories. It was just a nice job by our guys fighting back.
It was senior day. Schedule kind of works out weird where 3 straight road games to end the season, so that could potentially be the last home game for a big class of seniors. Lots of junior college kids have only played here for 2 years, and they have not lost at the BAC. 10-0 at home over the last 2 seasons. What kind of closing thoughts on the seniors? Obviously not on the year, but just what they've been able to accomplish at the BAC.
Just a great class, a great class of leaders. We have multiple year captains and guys have been through the program through times when things weren't as good and hung with it until up and having a chance now to win a second conference championship. And I guess that's a big thing that sticks out is is their leadership abilities. They do a good job of leading in practice. They do a good job of really helping our guys when us as coaches don't have to let them know they know what they need to do, and that's just really important that they do that. So just a great bunch of seniors, and not have been good on the field, but good people, good citizens, good students, and great representatives of our program.
Transitioning into next week, it's time to head south for a former familiar foe in Black Hills State. Kind of explain how that game came to be.
Well, we both had an opening on the same weekend, and they were looking for another game, and we were sure inviting to play them. And they're a team that used to be one of our rivals, and they're 3 hours away. And we wanted to really make sure this year, non-conference wise, that we got as tough a schedule as we could to really push ourselves. And by having Northwestern and Montana Western and now Black Hills, we really feel those 3 teams were good quality teams that we wanted to play outside our conference schedule. And that's it just worked out where we could play them at the same time, and it's a nice game for our fans to go down. It's a short trip for many of our parents and fans, and it worked out well. And of course, they're having a good year this year. They're 5-3, and they've beat a nationally ranked Division II team. So we're really looking forward to it. And
just for folks at home to understand, when in basketball, when a team moves up, plays a D1, D2 team, it is typically counted as an exhibition. Make no mistake about it, this one is not an exhibition Saturday afternoon, is it?
It's not an exhibition game, and we've been big rivals with them over the past. Obviously they're a very good team, but also a team that we're going to go in and compete with, and really looking forward to playing them.
They have 17 interceptions on the year. That's good for 3rd in Division II. Blue Hawks have 18 interceptions, so are the quarterbacks going to be able to throw it to their own team this week?
Yeah, we're hoping so. They're a very good team. Offensively, their quarterback does a great job of getting the ball out. He's very efficient. Offensively, they have an outstanding group of receivers, some of the best we're going to see on the field. And defensively, they're fast, and a great set of linebackers and front guys, and our secondary is solid. They're just a really solid team, a really good team that we know that we have a lot of respect for, and is really good. But we're looking forward to going and playing them.
Alrighty, best of luck this weekend down in Spearfish. We'll be right back, joined by another Blue Hawk coach. We're back on Hawk Talk. We're now joined by Coach Hartman, volleyball head coach at Dickinson State. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach. Let's just kind of rewind a little bit to the start of conference season. Didn't go into conference play with the record you guys probably wanted, but what has clicked that's kind of enabled this team that was picked to finish last in the conference to have a winning record in conference?
Well, I guess anytime you bring in 11 new people, you can kind of expect to really struggle in the beginning, and we just kind of kept preaching, stick to the process, it's going to click eventually, and I guess it clicked at the perfect time, right when we went into conference play, and we've been really fortunate to come out with a winning record so far, and hopefully we can continue down that road.
Sure. Now this past weekend, went on the road to face Waldorf. We'll get into kind of why that was such an important game, but the team came back and won a 5-setter. Describe that game and kind of take us through it.
Well, it was really emotional. Obviously, we lost the first, came back in the second. We let a 10-point lead slip by us, and so that was really tough, but we ended up winning the second, which was good. Came out in the third really aggressive and stuff, but ended up going to 5 sets with them, and they actually beat us to 8. Which in the volleyball world,
Sure.
That's really hard to come back from, but we just really kept our composure, and I was really proud of the team. We've done it a couple times now this season against Mayville and Valley, and we've really stepped up in pressure situations. So it says a lot about what we're becoming as a team.
Now, if I understand how the North Star works, which I don't always, sometimes they have some weird quirks, but the top 4 teams are going to get to host that first round action of the conference volleyball tournament. And Waldorf came into that game as the 5 seed, with Dickinson being the 4 seed. Dickinson, you guys already beat them at home, so that game meant a lot. Obviously, it was Waldorf's chance to put a loss in our column and a win in their column, but at the same time, a sweep would theoretically give us the tiebreaker should the team end in a tie for 4th place, if that's how the North Star does it. Hopefully it is, but obviously that's such a big win. But back on the road this week against teams that we haven't fared well against.
Right, well, we have Dakota State again, and obviously that's a game we're really focused on. They came to our home court and swept us, and so that was definitely disappointing for everybody involved, but we've worked really hard. We're kind of a different team and program
Sure.
now, and we just want to really focus on Dakota and see what we can do against them this week.
That leaves us with next week. It's senior weekend, so to speak. Probably won't get a chance to talk to you before then, so I know you're focused on Dakota State and Bellevue this weekend, but just take a moment to kind of explain what the seniors have meant for you and meant for the team.
Oh, we have a great group of seniors. A lot of times when you get a group of seniors, they're all the same personality, but all 3 of them are different. Brenna, she's kind of the goofy one that makes jokes and kind of cheers everybody up when they need it, and then Tessa, she's the vocal one, and so she's always holding people accountable and really loud on the court, kind of the energy and the spark that we need. And then Danny, she's just the quiet leader, and she just leads by example. So we've been really fortunate with a great group of leadership this year, and we're sad that it's coming to a close, but hopefully not too soon.
Sure. Obviously, might be playing for the chance to host a game that week, so give folks a reason to come on out and support the seniors and make sure they get that extra home game.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a great opportunity for them to come watch a great group of ladies.
All righty, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll be back with some athletes. Welcome back to Hawk Talk. It's now time for the Blue Feather feature. The Blue Feather Athletic Association makes it possible for a lot of these student athletes to come to Dickinson State and get that scholarship. So pleased to be joined by 2 student athletes. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Shelby Gustafson. I play on the volleyball team.
I'm Dalton Reed. I'm a senior on the football team.
All right, we're going to get to know these guys a little bit better through some interesting questions that'll kind of take us through who they are and who some of their teammates are. First off, guys, just take us through your journey to DSU.
Well, I went to high school at West Fargo in North Dakota and decided to continue on my volleyball career and talked to Coach Stanton, who was the coach at the time, and ended up coming here.
Dalton?
I went to Miles City, Montana. I'm from there. I was born and raised there. I have that strong Stanton connection, we've talked
Sure.
about 100 times. it just felt like family here, you know, between Pete and Dan and all the teammates and other Stanton boys here. But so far the journey's been great, and I couldn't be more blessed to be here.
Alrighty, guys. Who's the funniest person on your respective teams?
Oh gosh.
Probably one of our freshmen. I'd say two of them, Ellie and Kennedy. They're a pretty good
Dang.
duo.
This is tough when you got 80 guys to
Yeah.
pick from. We'll go Robert Nalawaya.
All right, guys. What professor do you wish was running for president so we could replace the two current candidates?
Definitely Dr. Pierce, chemistry professor.
Professor Rolf Butts.
That's the second time he's been nominated. Unfortunately, Professor Butts is a German-born. We might have to bend some rules to get him up for that, but I'd be willing to vote for him as well. All right, guys, what's your go-to college kid meal when you look at that bank account and see you can't afford a real meal? What's your go-to?
I don't know.
Nothing?
Taco
Ramen?
Bell,
Taco
I
Bell,
guess.
okay.
We'll go chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup. All right, guys, who's the best dressed and worst dressed on your teams?
I'll have to go with two of the seniors. Probably Brenna being the best dressed and Tessa being the worst
Ouch.
dressed.
Hey, someone's got to take that.
We have some different styles on our team.
You do?
But, you know, if we're going to go for a different kind of classy, different style, I would say Seth Morakirky or Kayla Ray.
Okay. I would throw them up for different aspects
Yes.
of that question. Just not my style, but if you could play volleyball and if you could play football, what would you most look forward to?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'd probably have to say spiking, or whatever you
We
guys.
call it
Hitting,
Hitting.
spiking. You know, I'm not. I've never really done it. I've only tried doing it in PE a couple times, and I failed miserably. But I think that would be the funnest thing to do.
Well, first of all, I'm not very good at catching anything. That's why I play volleyball.
Okay.
So if I were able to catch a ball and get a touchdown, that would probably be the most exciting thing.
But they do have hitting. Hitting means different things in the two sports that you'd have to avoid.
I don't think I'm strong enough for that.
All right, guys, who would you volunteer from your team to play the other sport?
Oh man. Again, I'd probably go with Kayla Ray, just because he's such a goof and he's so wild, but he's so energetic. It'd be fun to just see how he would react out there with all the different aspects of the game.
Who's playing football?
I'd have to go with Peyton Hinn.
Okay. What's something that your coaches do that get on your nerves a little bit? You've been in the programs a while.
This could get us in trouble.
It could.
Go ahead, Shelby.
He's
I'll let
not
you answer
ready.
first.
Something that. Wait, can you repeat the question?
Something that your coaches do that it's kind of like, no, not again, or something that gets on your nerves.
Well, something that gets on my nerves is she's very soft-spoken. So in huddles, you know, we're extra close because you can't hear anything. So
Sure.
you're all leaning in over her head.
Just building that team
Yes,
chemistry. All
building
right.
it up.
Well, if she's going to go with that route, I'll say the opposite. Ours are not very soft-spoken. Ours are very straightforward and very vocal, but I guess it's not so much a pet peeve. I'd have to say the thing that most gets on my nerves is Tuesday conditioning.
I think there's a need for it, but I don't have to participate in it, so it's easy for me to say. All right, guys, who's your biggest role model?
I'd say my dad. I mean, I've always looked up to him. He's just been a good guy, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without him.
I definitely have to say my sister. I've always wanted to be exactly like her, and she's 2.5 years older than me, and I wouldn't be doing half the things I'm doing right now if it weren't for her.
What's the biggest lesson you guys have learned in your time at Dickinson, whether it be sports, classroom, whatever?
Just work hard and be friendly to people, you know. I mean, friendships go a long way, and so does working hard. And I think in every aspect in the classroom and on the field, the coaches and professors have all distilled that in this, and I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned.
Going along with that, definitely like hard work pays off. Coming into this program, like seeing where we were at then and to where we're at now is a big jump, and it's definitely the hard work that's been put in by everyone.
All right, guys, both of you have been part of turnarounds in your own right, in your own programs. So just take us through what that's meant to come into a program that was kind of searching for wins, searching for an identity, and it seems like both of your guys' programs are well on their way to establishing that identity. So just take us through that journey from your perspective.
Well, when I first came in, it was definitely a rebuilding year again for DSU, and our record wasn't the best. And to be where we're at right now, through a new coach, basically a new team with everyone new that is to the program, it's really exciting to see where it's gone and to like where our record's at, how we're doing in conference and how we're competing with other teams is really exciting, and the improvement is really impressive.
Sure.
You know, for my first 2 years, we were 1-10 and 2-9, which was not fun at all for anybody on the team. And you know, a lot of people graduate, and now we're down to, I think, 6 or 7 original seniors that were here in my recruiting class. So for us, it's it's kind of a great honor and a great moment for us to turn it around like that and finish off with hopefully 2 back-to-back conference championships.
Both of you guys, kind of how things have played out, have the opportunity to potentially play a home playoff contest. So what would that mean to you?
Kind of like I was saying earlier, just from being where I started at and now where we're at now, it'd be amazing to have a home playoff game.
And I agree with Shelby on that one, especially like you said with Coach Stanton. Our schedule this year is kind of weird, and we had senior night, and now we have 3 away games to finish off the season. So it's kind of a weird moment where you want to be sentimental, but you still got 3 games left. So for us to get a home playoff game would be huge for us. You know, it'd be huge for the crowd. It'd be just a great momentum builder for us going into the postseason.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week on Hawk Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck to all of your guys' future endeavors. But hopefully we get the opportunity to see you guys in action. Football team is going to have a couple things to fall in place for them to be back at home. But the volleyball team has 2 home contests next week. Make sure you check out Shelby and the rest of her teammates. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Life is full of many successes, achievements, stages. Every year we grow, things change, and pretty soon we realize we want and need to do more. When you're ready for that next step, Dickinson State University will get you there. Find out how at dsublue.com.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk. We're joined now by a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
I'm Ty Orton from the DSU Heritage Foundation.
I might call him Coach Orton. You might recognize him from being a basketball coach, but once you kind of get that coach next to your name, it's kind of hard to let go of. And Coach Orton is also technically my boss right now, so I don't want to call him Ty either. But this last weekend, the Heritage Foundation had a donor recognition breakfast as well as scholarship recipient breakfast. Talk about kind of the details behind that and why that's important for what you guys are trying to do.
Well, this was since we've been in existence for about 8 months now, we've had a lot of donors from the community and around the country step up and really help with scholarships, from academic scholarships through athletic scholarships, rodeo. And we wanted to make sure that we're starting the process of recognizing the people that have just done so much to help us out. And that's what we did. We decided to do a kickoff to the day scholarship brunch is what it was, and had the donors meet the students that they were having an impact with, had the foundation board there representing obviously the foundation and kind of bringing everybody together, donors, students, and the board all in one spot. And we thought it was a great event.
You mentioned that 8 months of existence. Can you kind of elaborate on that timeline, give folks an idea of what the Heritage Foundation has accomplished since its inception and also what that has done for the university?
So what happened is on December 21st, I took the job. And that happened to be the same day that Dr. Mitzel was hired. We both started on the same day. And we developed, Jim Osmond started the foundation and the process of developing that foundation in November of 2015. And we ended up receiving our 501c3 status in March, I believe. So that would be considered when we started our fundraising campaigns. Sure. And during that time, our goal was to raise right around $2 million in order to help promote student scholarships and athletic scholarships. And during that time, we had a large amount of success, we actually bumped up our goals to $3.5 million, which has been a very strong move. It's been an aggressive move, and currently we're at $2.75 million to date. So,
Can you kind of break down, folks, what an endowment means, what other campaigns are for, kind of just break down where different money goes and how it's accessible to you guys?
So what we do now, we have something that's called the College on the Hill campaign, and that is our endowment campaign. Endowments are scholarships where you only live off the interest. The interest is what pays the scholarship. Our board policy, signed board policy that was accepted by the foundation board, is a 4% return, and those endowments really are what the future of the university is. And once again, that goal was $1.5 million for endowments, and those are $25,000 or more. That takes $25,000 to start it. And those could be department scholarships, those could be named scholarships for just recognition purposes, memorial scholarships, items like that. But those are scholarships that should never go away. The principle is always set there, and we invest it to a point where we not like to see a return. But in order to do things in a safe environment to make sure that we are awarding the proper dollars, we do use a 3-year rolling average. And the 3-year rolling average is what sets the average of what the scholarship will be on an annual basis.
Now those monies aren't directly accessible to you guys, so what other money is used, to pay scholarships this year, so to speak?
So currently we have several campaigns, our annual campaigns, and this is what that $760,000 is going for. These are all annual dollars that were raised. We have the BFAA campaign, which is an athletic campaign. That is the new combination of the Blue Hawk Booster Club and the Blue Hawk Touchdown Club. And those two coming together, we now are the only entity that sends out the membership mailings to everyone across the alumni, friends, family, state, and we really trying to educate people on this. This is our first year for this, and it started out as a little slow, and now people are starting to understand that, and that has a goal of $350,000 every year. The other areas that we do is what is called the Cornerstone Traditions campaign. This is our annual campaign where we raise academic dollars. This is going to be huge for us with the merit-based scholarships that are coming into play, and making sure that we're taking care of students not just this year but in the future.
Obviously, if you haven't noticed from the last 5 minutes, kind of lots of different things going on. So what question do you get asked the most when people recognize your face at Walmart, at dinner? What question comes up the most in the community?
They keep asking if it's a hard job. And sometimes it is a hard job, sometimes it's difficult, but we have to see the big picture. We have to see where this is going to be at in 10 years. We have to understand that it's not about me, it's not about the people that are here that we're growing for, and obviously we want to take care of the students, we want to take care of everybody that are here currently, but we need to make sure that this foundation is developing a base that will have a major impact in 20 years. So when scholarships come around and they're giving maybe $5 million away annually, those are all off of endowments that were developed during these first 5 years of existence.
And what's been the most challenging aspect of the last 8 months, but also what are you most proud of?
What's challenging is making sure that we're doing things right, that every single detail is followed, and understanding when you don't know how to do something, your ego doesn't get in the way, and you call somebody. You call and you ask questions from the state. You call and ask questions from other foundations, and make sure that you're just following the proper protocol, making sure that the board is aware of everything that's going on, which is important to us. We want to make sure that our donors are aware of where their dollars are going. We've sent back a lot of money that have been in the form of checks that they don't say where it's going to be going. And if it doesn't say it's an annual campaign, doesn't say it's a endowment, then we don't assume that it just is automatically to be used for whatever. So we send those checks back, and that's been it makes us feel better. We're doing the right thing.
Now, President Mitzel stressed the importance of having Dickinson State and the community kind of on the same page together in a lot of different aspects. You probably have the most access to knowing where we're at as far as that goes. So how would you evaluate Dickinson State University and its relationship with the community?
I think it's starting to mend. I think it's starting to, or even develop, whichever way you want to place that. It's one of those situations where Dickinson State needed to be seen in the community. We needed to have representatives out in the community talking to them, letting them know what's going on, say, hey, these changes are going, or better yet, listening to the concerns that the community has, because this is everybody's university. This isn't just one person's university. We need to make sure we're listening to the students, the faculty, the community, in order to make this the best place for everybody to be at, because this is a major staple in the community. If we're not taking care of each other, then it's not going to be as strong as we need it to be.
Now, before we wrap things up, pretty big deadline coming up that has implications on how dollars can be double, or not doubled, but halved, so to speak. So just take us through what deadline is coming up and what money donated before that can do.
We have a deadline of November 1st for the State Challenge Grant, and this grant, we have roughly $220,000 remaining to raise for academic scholarships. If we do not raise that $220,000 by November 1st, we don't get to qualify for the bonus round. I love calling it the bonus round because we got to make this a game and it's a competition. What happens is if we don't qualify for the bonus round, then we don't have any extra money that we can take for the grant or the challenge. So, but if we do qualify for this bonus round, we have a chance to go and take some of the other universities that maybe did not use all of their funds. So if Minot State didn't use their $1 million from the grant and they have $200,000 left over, we can raise money and we can say, sorry, Minot, we'll beat you again. You know, one of those situations. So it's an important thing, but it's not only, and it's a friendly competition. Minot is doing a great job, but we want to make sure that this is the state grant isn't going to be around very much longer. So we have to take advantage of it right now. Plus, in order to be where we're at, if we can qualify for the extra state challenge grant dollars, we have a potential to bump up another $1.5 million. So that would be almost a $5 million first year if we could do that.
Just to clarify, up until this November 1 deadline, what has the State Challenge Grant done for the money that's been donated?
It has been enormous for us. It has helped really just launch this whole foundation. And we had $929,000 that we could raise because they were subject to the budget cuts as well. So our allotment was $929,000, and we've already received over $700,000 from other donations and strictly academic. And it's just really given us a boost academically, and annual campaign and endowment campaign.
So if you're thinking about cutting the DSU Heritage Foundation a check, expedite the process a little bit, make that money even more valuable with the state match. But what can the average viewer at home do to help the DSU Heritage Foundation?
What we really wanted to do when we started these campaigns with the Cornerstone campaign, we were asking a lot of people to give a little. I mean, with everything that DSU has gone through, we don't want everybody to jump in and say, hey, we're just going to trust you with everything. We want to show that we're going to do things right. So what we're asking is for individuals to commit $550 a year for 2 years, and $42 a month is what it comes out to be. And that goes straight to the merit-based scholarships. And these merit-based scholarships take care of the new students coming in. It helps with retention for our future students, or our students that are already here, to keep them here, and gives them an incentive to continue to go to class and strive to do the best that they can. All righty.
Thank you for joining us, Coach Orton. Now I want to stress, as a former student myself who was a beneficiary, however you say that word, of these scholarships, how important they are. You've seen a lot of different student athletes come into via on Hawk Talk, and they're pretty impressive folks that might not have gotten here to Dickinson State without the help of something like the Heritage Foundation. So we appreciate Coach Orton stopping by, and we appreciate the work they do to make DSU a reality for a lot of different folks that wouldn't necessarily think about it otherwise. That wraps things up for another edition of Hawk Talk. Be sure to join us. Check out DSUBlueHawks.com, DSUHeritageFoundation.org to get all the information that we went over today, if it went over your head. But be sure to join us next week on Hawk Talk.